And so hello.
Hello.
Hey, welcome. Hey, Therese.
Hey, Liz.
Welcome to our another Monday for us, I guess.
It's another Monday.
We're back for
Got a
chaos.
piece of the Mondays.
Definitely. If you don't know who we are, I'm Liz, and that's Therese. And we're joined by a lot of people today. We've got Caro Brown
Hello.
and Ann Pinkava and Annie Stitch in the Sky and Shauna Stitches for the first time. Welcome to the
Hi.
first time, Shauna. And our good friend Morgan, who can occasionally pop in depending on work. So welcome everybody. Hope everybody had a decent weekend. Especially
It's
if you
never
didn't watch
long
the
enough.
Olympics.
Never long enough.
Especially if you didn't watch the Olympics open ceremony.
You know, my community is usually very quiet. Like my parish, right? Like I came in and at one point I was like, "You're all wearing armor, talking about a crusade. I think you're upset about something."
Well, good.
Well, I think it's hilarious that the director is now claiming it was the Feast of Dionysius, yet the Olympic Committee is saying, no, we knew it was the Last Supper.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like, stories have to be straight, people.
Yes.
And especially since explicit religious or political displays are not allowed by the Olympic Committee.
Well, they are. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually more offended by the fact that the Netherlands has a volleyball athlete who was convicted of raping a 12-year-old child. And since he's done his time and he's cured, they in the Olympics are letting him compete. And I just don't think that that's right, because I don't think you get cured.
Yeah, I heard, from what I hear, the crowds are not happy when he walks on.
So. No, and they won't let him in front of the press because they don't want the press to ask him questions. But I'm sorry, there's a ton of minors in the Olympic Village who are not with their parents.
Right.
And to me, that's just it's wrong. And it's wrong. I support the athletes, but the Olympics has just turned me off this year.
Well, I saw today.
He's only done 12 months time.
Yeah, he only did 12 months time. But don't worry, he's cured, they said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, did they remove a body part? Because that might cure him.
I don't think so. Well,
okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I just, who thinks that's a good idea? Are you that desperate for an athlete to play beach volleyball that's where you go? I don't know.
I saw today where the Olympic Committee is making a surfer. He has a picture of Jesus on the bottom of his surfboard, and they're making him remove it because Jesus is a religious symbol, and we don't do religious symbols in the Olympics. I'm like, did you not just watch your crap from 2 days ago? Because that's a religion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, plus then there's the athletes who won't fight against the other athletes or shake their hands, and it's like, okay, regardless of world events, leave the athletes out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all know that the Olympics, it's a show of international cooperation and goodness and beating those commie bastards. And if we could just go back to doing that, that'd be fantastic.
You're absolutely right, Tomsky. I would not mind the wood chipper event for certain people.
Yes.
Because I'm sorry. I did see a thing where somebody was claiming it was a Greek bacchanal, which is hilarious because Greeks didn't do bacchanals. It's Roman. Mm-hmm. And so, all their new explanations and theories get worse and worse. But our first lady liked it, so that's okay. Well, she just pretends to be Catholic.
Specific thrill from blocking off roadways for her motorcade, so maybe, as per her Vogue article.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's everybody knitting on or crocheting on? Carol, what are you
Suck it
doing?
once.
I'm sewing a sequin dress.
Wow.
Ooh,
Just
sparkly.
just an alteration.
Ah,
But I have got my knitting with me as well.
Sounds
I had
like
to find something that I could knit while I was on this. So
Mhm.
my husband's second pencil sock is going.
I was gonna
That's what it
say
will.
it's definitely not your Stephen West mystery along.
Oh no, that's as far as it can go for the moment. But that's what it'll
Oh.
look like when it's done.
I love that. I love it
That's
so
cute.
much.
Yeah. It was more appropriate when I started it 4 years ago and he was still a teacher. But whatever.
Well,
Details.
You've been gifted with popcorn. Thank you, honey.
I do like watching your mystery along videos.
Yeah, I mean that's real time. Like my thoughts are just coming out because it's been a very frustrating surprise sock along. Like on one hand, I really enjoy it and it's fun, but I appreciate when things work out the way that they're supposed to. And I'm really in my normal knitting, like I'm not a big rip and redo kind of person, and there's been a lot of that. So it's frustrating, but I definitely go into it with a different mindset than, a pattern where I have everything right there. So
Well, I appreciate because you knit a lot of socks. So
yes,
for
yes.
you to have the issues you're having makes me really grateful I did not sign up to do that because I don't knit enough socks and it would have been a lot more frustrating for me.
Yeah, it's really interesting because last year, none of these issues at all. Like the fit was fine. I didn't have to modify anything except for maybe more rows in the heel flap, which I always do. So that was no big deal. And maybe I didn't even do that, but I don't know. It's very interesting this year.
Yeah.
Is anyone
don't
else
look-
doing it? Just me?
I think just you.
I
They
gave up
don't look
mysteries.
they don't look like comfortable socks.
Yeah, that was my thought after seeing the first clue and knitting it is those welts. You could never wear it with any kind of boot or taller shoe. And so far the top of the foot should be okay. So if you're just wearing it in a regular sneaker or something, it would be okay. I think, but we don't know what's going to be on the bottom yet. So if there's some ridges on the bottom, that'll be interesting.
I probably need to look up a video, but okay, so I haven't watched your videos on it yet. I apologize.
It's okay.
But the sideways welt things that I've seen from people saying, "Oh yeah, mystery knit along," I'm really fascinated on how those work.
I've knit them before on different things, and I want to say mostly on Stephen West things.
Me too.
Oh gosh, what's the pinguono? The vest thing that he had. It's not a vest, it's got sleeves, but it's like a kimono. It's pinguono. It has
We know
welt-
it well.
Yeah,
You
it
know
has
it well.
welt along the back. And so it's so simple. All you do, you change your color if you want your welt to be a color, and you knit how many ever rows. And then when you go to actually create the welt, you knit a new row and you knit into the back of like the beginning row. So
It's like a
say you
folded
knit
hem
10
kinda.
rows, you're going to
Mhm.
go down to row 1 through the back.
Mm.
And it's basically like a seam, like knitting together, Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, like a folded hem on a hat.
Here, here's the inside. Well, I guess you can't really tell, but oh, where's my camera? Can you see that? So it's just like knitted together, and that's the
Yeah. It's
underside
like
of
if
the
you
welt.
It's like if you knit a
Oh.
collar and then you fold it over and you seam it
Mhm.
together and then you
Right.
keep going with the body.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You just keep doing them.
Yeah,
I did them on one of his other
yeah,
shawls
like a
one
collar,
time.
exactly.
Right.
Just smaller.
It's a lot easier than you think until you see what he does, and then it's like, oh, that totally makes sense. It's just weird to see him vertical on the socks.
The whole thing's weird.
Well, it's a Stephen West pattern. Come on.
I know.
As much
And
as we love his patterns.
Very cool.
I'd just been thinking that he was getting a little more tame. Maybe not.
Well, he's put out a couple pretty normal looking sweater patterns lately. So
Yeah.
the next
Have
one
you
though,
seen?
Christmas is coming. It might just be like hideous.
Yeah. Have you seen the newest shawl? That's
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but I thought it would be great for an Advent. It's got like those long stripes of color, and it's
Radiance or something radiance, I
Something.
think.
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds right. I can't think what it is, but it's really pretty.
Mhm.
Yeah, my problem with his shawls is a lot of times it'll be like, okay, 5 colors, and you get 5 skeins of yarn, and you only use 100 yards from one of the, or
Mhm.
2 of the skeins, and it's like,
Yes.
now what do I do with the
This
rest
one
of it?
is. It's like
I'm-
9 colors, but you only use like 100 yards of each one or something. So it
Like
would.
I'm
be-
doing,
I
I'm
don't know.
doing stripometry now, and I'm assuming I'll have enough because basically he's like 1 skein of this, 1 skein of that, but there's not like specific yardages. So we'll see. Oh yeah,
I'm glad
Chicken
I'm
Lady,
using
don't forget
Stash.
it's the 5th Friday of the month, Chicken Lady, for free shipping. So
Chicken lady yarn. Are you talking about this yarn? Sorry,
yeah. Yes, that would be it.
That one.
that one.
Here's my baby cardigan sleeve.
Aw.
Oh,
So cute.
That's cute.
Awesome.
Annie's in baby making clothes now. She can
Wow.
whip out those cardigans and hats and little things.
Baby making clothes? That sounds a little kinky.
Well, baby clothes making. Sorry, I'm tired.
That'd be the
sounded like a
sequin
totally
dress that
different-
Annie is doing.
Well, I don't know. Maybe a baby
Sequin
wants to
dress.
wear a sequin dress. I don't know. Some people dress their kids fancy. Oh, hey there, Cabot Covenants. We miss you. We wish you were here. It's not the same without you, Tab.
No.
But
What are
happy
you working on?
birthday.
Bit of sparkle.
That's true.
Woohoo.
Sparkle, sparkle.
It's not mine.
And
sparkles.
Anne, what are you working on?
I am working on a matching hat to my cowl that I just finished. I don't think the cowl has made its wider internet debut, so I'm excited. Here, let me not muss my lipstick on it. Yeah. But
Ooh, I like it.
Mhm.
makes me happy. Kind of,
Nice.
What shawl? It makes me happy.
What weight is that? What yarn weight?
It's a little difficult because I knit it with hand spun yarn,
Mhm.
which also makes it difficult to do like, yardage or gauge. So I have to make another one. But I'd say about a DK weight. But yeah, I like it. It's good. And then here, I'm knitting on the matching hat. Hang on.
Cool.
Let me just put that on. It'll look like an alien thing. But yeah, it'll be kind
Aw,
of cool.
looks cute.
So coordinated.
Look at that. Look at that. All right, sorry. I'm done.
I'm
But
into it.
Oh no, that sucks.
oh, day before.
Oh no.
That's awful. I've done that though.
So pretty.
I don't have any advents this year. I don't think I'm going to get any. I still haven't used the one from last year, so.
That's never an excuse.
Exactly.
It is because I'm trying to buy less yarn or at least buy only things for specific projects.
Yeah, I gave up on that a while ago. But I'm trying. Well, okay. In this case, I'm doing a bit better with it, but still, it's like I just need to quit, and I need to quit starting stuff, which I clearly, haven't bothered to stop doing. But it's all right. It's all right.
Why
We'll
quit
just-
when you're ahead?
Yes. In my own special way, I'm ahead of the game.
What are you working on now, Morgan?
So I'm still working on my ugly cat shawl. I really don't want to take it out of the bag again, so I'm sorry. But we're getting there. We're on. I think this. I've got 5 more wedges after this, so we're in the home
Yay.
stretch.
That's good. Yeah.
Yay.
And then I've started, and of course, no one's really going to be able to tell what it is. So let me just pull up the picture of it so I can coordinate that while I'm thinking of it. So I am working on this little guy.
Ooh, that's adorable.
Except I got really big yarn for it because when I went to Michael's to go get the yarn, they didn't have any of just the regular Bernat like blanket yarn. I mean, they did, but not in like any of the colors that I needed. So I was kind of like, okay, well, this is rather annoying. So it's going to be a giant Stegosaurus with
That could
Aw,
be a
I've got
bedfellow.
the chocolate, and I've got the bottom. Ugh. Oh, wait, I have this the wrong way around. Hold on. Ugh. Hold on. Here we go. The chocolate here, and then the bottom graham cracker part. So I still have a little ways to go, but I ran out of yarn. So I have to get more. But yeah, this is going to be. Originally, it was supposed to be for me, but then when my boyfriend saw it, he's like, I want a Stegosaurus. So I'm like, all right, fine. It'll be for you. So I need more yarn though. The payday's tomorrow, so I'll get it then.
that's good that the boyfriend likes your stuff.
He does. He's very sweet.
Because I know he was encouraging you on that shawl too, you said.
Yeah. Oh, well. During Shark Week, it was funny. He's like, I'm gonna be really sad if you don't finish this thing. You have to rip it out. And I'm like, you're gonna be sad. Like I'm the one who's doing it. And he's like, exactly. So get working. Let's go. And he's like, and I was like, I had the yarn sitting on the TV tray because I'd made dinner. And I was knitting, and it kept, the yarn kind of kept getting snagged sometimes, so like it would fall off It's like, do you want me to hold that? I'm like, sure, okay. So I hand it to him, and he's just holding it while we're watching TV, and like as he sees that I need more like slack, he just starts like letting out a little bit of it each time. So I'm like, are you having fun over there? He's like, yeah, why not? I'm like, well, pretty soon, you're gonna turn into like the Swift. What I need to wind more yarn if I don't have mine with me. And he's like, what's a Swift? I'm like, let me, so then I showed him what the Swift was, and he's like, oh, okay.
I
I'm
saw
like, yeah.
somebody make not a Swift, but if you don't have one and you want to wind a hank, to put 4 full water bottles down on the ground and put it around there, the hank around there, and then roll the ball and just stand over it.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to wind if it's down below you than trying to pull it off of chairs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, in a pinch at work, when I'm at work and there's nothing to do, at night and, urgent care is not busy, I just basically wrap like the skein around my knees and I just go round and round and round and round.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's mini skeins that I'm working with because I wouldn't do that with like a full skein of yarn. That would just take forever. So like I always make sure before I go to work that I'm prepared with yarn, like ready to go. So I'm not, wasting time winding yarn. But then it's really annoying because then when I see somebody coming in, I got a quick like, okay, take it off, put it down in a way where it's like, okay, when I pick it back up, it's not going to get tangled, again.
Well, that's why the person I saw said that this way you can put it down because the yarn's already down and you just have to stick the ball down and then it's easier to come back to.
Yeah, but I don't know if I trust, like the cleaning people are nice, but
Well,
I don't
you
know
could,
if I trust,
I mean, you could stick cardboard underneath it too if you had to.
or I could just
Just
quick
a flat
take one of like our
surface.
wipes and just wipe the floor, like wipe the floor. I'm gonna put but yeah, no, I had another kind of odd experience at work. I don't know if I told this story. It was kind of semi recently, but we have neurology comes to our clinic sometimes, and we have the patients are very nice, they're lovely, but sometimes just given the issues are being seen for, at times things can happen. Well, a patient came in and it was funny because like I hadn't even been the one to like check her in for the appointment, but my coworker did. and she was like hitting on her, and so that was like really, really awkward and just kind of weird, and and we both have various tattoos, and so she was she kind of like complimented both of our tattoos, and so that was that. And so but then when she came back out for her appointment, I did the checkout process and scheduled follow-ups and stuff like that. And she's looking at my tattoos. In particular, she's looking at, let me see if I can turn my arm the right way. So this is always hard trying to so she's looking at that one in particular, and she's like, I really, really like that tattoo. She's like, what are the chances that you would let me take a picture of it so that I could go and get the same thing tattooed? And I said, like, no thanks. I'm like, I appreciate the compliment, but I'm like,
That's weird.
She's like, no, not gonna happen. I'm like, no, sorry. Like, no, sorry. Like, and then me and my coworker both just kind of looked at each other. We were like, oh, okay. Yeah,
That's weird.
this is the kind of day it's gonna be. I'm like, okay, it's all right. But I'm like, I was like, oh yeah, no. I'm like, why? I couldn't imagine like coming up to somebody and being like, yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of your tattoo so I can go get the exact same thing done.
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird.
no.
My daughter complimented somebody on their tattoo once. Some girl, we were at a drive-through, and she says, "Oh, I like your tattoo." And the girl goes, "I have a boyfriend." And she's like, "I'm just saying you have a nice
What?
tattoo. I don't want to date you." Like,
Well, okay, Miss
Wow.
Ma'am, jumping from A to Z. Okay.
Right?
like maybe she's had incidents with people. I don't know, and it was a
Maybe.
reaction, but I don't know.
That seems a little,
Yeah,
We're really
people
putting
be
the cart
weird.
before the horse there. Ooh.
Yeah, sometimes people. I don't know. So, Therese, what are you doing?
I have hang on, let me finish this row. Okay, so I'm working on some socks right now. DK weight.
Of
DK weight.
course.
Nice.
I did that. I started that because we were out and about, and I didn't want to drag around a big shawl. I finished my shawl. Oh, here's an in-between project. I made a holder for my cast iron skillet handle.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, I like those.
I got to make
so you don't burn yourself.
I don't burn myself. I'll still burn myself, but I'm trying. And I finished my shawl. Let me back up. It has to be blocked and all that crap. Let me see what side. Here, hang on. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. All right, I finished my shawl. Let's see.
Nice.
Where's
That's pretty.
okay, here, and then it's and then it's organdy. Yeah.
Ooh, I like the 3 colors, the color
Yeah.
block.
It's a shawl. I love it.
Yes, I figured you would.
Sparkle, sparkle shawl.
It's not sparkle, but it could be.
It sparkles in my vision.
In my head, it sparkles.
When I was first going to college and I was getting my associate's degree, I took an art class, and at one point we had to draw like stills of our classmates and stuff like that. So I was just drawing, and my teacher came over and she was kind of like, "No, you need to make this more pronounced and stuff like this because you're making them look too pretty." And I was like, "They are pretty to me. Like, I don't understand."
Wow. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think she just wanted me to I don't know, what I focused on wasn't what she wanted me to focus on. So, but I have Caro vision, and everybody looks beautiful to me. I'm just saying.
Down to their cells.
Yeah. Yeah. So we lost Anne.
Oh no.
No.
Hopefully she'll pop back
Anne.
up
And come back.
On
with her internet.
in the abyss.
Yeah, the abyss.
So
So
what else?
everybody plan their fall knitting.
I'm working on it right now. I'm gonna finish this row and show you.
Yeah, I want to see what you're doing.
I'm doing the Tunisian. Tunisian. I was working on my Patriot shawl, but then I was like, 4th of July
Yes,
come and
yes.
gone, so I'll come back to it. So I decided to work on my Halloween one. I think I can flush it out now. But it's Tunisian as well.
Neil would be so proud.
I know. Like, there's something about this stitch that like really makes this yarn, this kind of yarn, like really like pop. And I freaking love it. So one step closer to actual knitting. I know you guys are really proud of me.
We
Now,
are.
is this
Even
an
if
actual pattern, or you just going along?
It's just simple stitch. So I just do like one extension on the end to make it turn into like a bigger and bigger triangle. Because I can't help it. I have to make shawls. Like it's in my blood. I have to do it. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Do you wear a lot of shawls, Carol?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's good. See, my problem is I make them and I never wear them.
I buy them too.
Same.
But this one's a poncho and it's woven. I got it. So at the last convention I went to in Denver, there was like this booth and they're like, yeah, they've got these interesting looking ponchos. And I was like, you know what, let me go take a break and go check it out. And I did. And something weird happened. I walked over and I came back with a poncho and no money in my wallet. It was really strange, but it's beautiful.
Magic.
those things happen.
Oh.
That's Tabitha would
That's
love that one.
awesome.
Yeah. Fucking love this shit. And he was like, oh yeah, it's the last one I got here. I said, sold, FOMO. I know you got more in the bag. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that man's lying to you. He saw the light.
Yeah, he's like, I'll get her if I tell it's the last one. Like, damn right you will.
It's almost like you've been to a convention and figured these things out.
I know.
Oh,
Conventions
wait,
are
I'll show you
fun.
my poncho, Carol. Hold on, because I got mine at like a local fair one time. Hold on, I'll show you. Hold on.
I want to see it.
I gotta
love
get it out of my
All
closet.
ponchos and shawls are beautiful to me.
This one I didn't make. I bought it, but it's still fantastic. But it's too hot to wear it. I would like die of heat exhaustion in it but it's so cozy though. The best thing ever. All right, here we go. I'll stand up and show it.
You have such wonderful taste. Morgan, we have to be friends.
Yes. And then
Yes.
the back. Wait, hold on, the back. Wait.
Multicolored.
Yeah, the inside. It's like reversible too, except I don't think with the hood though, I don't think you can do it.
Okay.
Because it's got a hood.
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Do you guys want to
I'm
hear a
gonna
fun
back
con
that
tale? I don't know if I told you this last time I was here.
Go for it.
So there I was walking around with the Saska sisters and Kara, right? And at one point we walked by Gamer Subs, and I was like, oh man, I used to like buy Gamer Subs all the time, and I just haven't for a while. And Kara was like, I love Gamer Subs. Let's go over and talk to them. And we're like, okay. And so all 4 of us women went over to Gamer Subs, and somehow in the course of 30 minutes, we walked away with $100 worth of shit that we got for free. So all I learned is that if I want shit for free, I need to walk with a pair of twins and a cute little Kara. So that's my plan, and I'm gonna do it again next convention.
Hey, whatever works.
Sounds like a plan.
Speaking of Morgan, since she's here, I don't have to send her this. I saw something popped up in my feed, and it's something you can get on Etsy. But Amy, if you're in the
Is
comments,
it what I think it is?
don't look because you will freak.
Is
Okay.
it what I think it is?
It's a pillow.
Yes.
They have them on Etsy.
Yes. Oh,
You can get them in white or
yes.
black.
I need
So Amy,
that.
Amy and Joe Bob, don't look. Sorry, Joe Bob, I didn't give you a spoiler.
I need.
I'll send it to
that.
you. I'll send
Yes,
you the link.
please.
It just
Thank
popped
you.
up the other day because I had been looking up Halloween stuff, and that popped up.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not for me, but I do know who it's for.
I know exactly who could use something like that. That would be fantastic. That's awesome. So it was actually funny over the weekend. I spent some time with my mom and my brother, and like it was kind of and Ian was we were both kind of like reminiscing over just different stories or whatever, and he had to bring up this story about how we were on some road trip and how him and I were in the back of the car, and I think we stopped or something. I think just to get out, stretch our legs, bathroom break, all that. And we were like sitting there, and all of a sudden the spider like comes out and starts crawling on Ian's like legs. Or I mean, he would have had to have been, I think, like maybe like 9 or 10 at the time or something. And it was crawling like really really fast. And of course, you know, I think I had like swatted it away at the time, or you know, something. And he like flipped out. I mean, he, you know, like lost it. And of course, Ian's saying this, I mean, it's like, it was huge, as big as your tarantulas. I'm like, no. I'm like, Ian, I think we were in South Dakota or something. I'm like, it would not. I'm like, it would not have been a tarantula, okay? Like, you've seen I'm like, you've seen the tarantulas I used to have. I'm like, there's no way. And he's like, no, it was huge. It was huge. I'm like, Ian, I think you're over exaggerating just a tad. Like, no, I'm not. No, I'm like, Ian, I'm like, okay, whatever. You want to believe it was the size of one of my tarantulas? Fine, be that way.
Anne would know if
Anne,
they have tarantulas in South Dakota.
do you have tarantulas in South Dakota, Anne?
Not where I live, anyways.
See, okay.
And she wants to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Keep them out. That's why I support border wall right around my state.
It's not for the people, it's for the giant spiders.
That's how I'm going to campaign now, actually. I want to keep the giant spiders out, and that's why we need a wall.
But they're not that bad.
So Morgan, you can never go visit Anne in South Dakota.
Well, I mean, I can. I don't own tarantulas anymore.
Yeah, you don't need to bring your spiders with you when you go.
No, I could just leave them home. You know, I can leave Oreo and Pumpkin here. It's okay.
Hey, like Amy says, just because you give them cute names
Doesn't make
doesn't mean
less
that they're
of a
cute
spider.
spider.
But you know, well, yeah, maybe we'll see. One of these days, I'll try. Yeah, I'm gonna try to convert Amy. I'm not saying I'll ever be successful, but I'm gonna try.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
aw,
you probably
Amy
like
loves
Phil.
you, Morgan.
Oh,
There we go.
She found some for you,
There you
Therese,
go.
but I'm pretty sure they're not spiders.
They better not be. I don't do spiders. My flip flop does spiders, but not me. Never Oreo and Pumpkin.
no, because they just stay in their enclosures. It's not like I take them out.
Yeah, as
you
long as
know.
they stay where they belong. See, I don't kill spiders when they're outside because they're outside and that's where they live. I live inside. And you don't live inside. I live inside.
As long as they know their place.
Right. No home invasions.
But see,
My
mine
son
are
said
cute.
he doesn't do spiders now anymore because since his roommate has 2 cats, they take care of them
Mm.
whenever there's spiders. I'm like, sure, pawn it off on the 4-legged animals. I see how it is.
So,
Anybody watch anything good recently?
no.
No, not really. I mean, I've been watching Criminal Minds a little bit here and there. I restarted it again because it's just one of those series that I just, you know, I'll just restart. Well, I get up to like a certain season, and then that's when they really go woke with the show, and then that's when I'm like, okay, nope, we're gonna go back to the good old days when it was good, when it was good. I mean, granted, like the show, I mean, there were like episodes here and there that kind of leaned more left, but like it wasn't like always so outwardly like in your face as, you know, the Criminal Minds evolution, you know, part of the series. But the thing is that I'd like to finish the whole thing because I know like there's a bunch of episodes I haven't seen, you know, plot lines that I haven't, but I just can't bring myself to do it quite yet. You know, it's just like I don't want to, like, no.
Yeah.
I'm waiting
But one of
for
these days.
the end of August when Homicide: Life on the Street starts streaming on Peacock.
Now my
Ooh, we'll
Peacock
rewatch
purchase
that.
will be worth it. Yeah.
And rewatch that because that was such a good show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you
like it.
guys have the same humor I do, but we have loved Only Murders in the Building, and the third season's coming out just after my birthday at the end of August. So I'm super excited for that.
I
It's
was
very
wanting
good.
to start that one.
Yeah.
Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez. They're hilarious.
I'll have to check it out.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
Very long list.
My
It's on
son went and
Hulu,
saw.
isn't it?
I think it
I
is
don't know.
Hulu. It's either Hulu or
Okay.
Peacock because that's all that we have.
Hulu.
Oh, okay.
Hulu. Yeah.
My son went and saw Wolverine the other day. He liked and Deadpool.
Ooh,
He
how was it?
He really loved it. He
Ooh.
said it pays homage to all the Fox X-Men movies since Fox lost rights to make X-Men anymore. So he really enjoyed it.
Did y'all see that now Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doctor Doom?
Yeah, I'm very unhappy about that.
Yeah, so is my brother. He was like, he goes, no, absolutely not. I'm like, okay, but so here's the thing. Because he's like, oh, he should still be Iron Man. I'm like, well, it's kind of hard for him to still be Iron Man when they've
No.
killed him off.
Yeah, all they have to do is make him Iron Man in another multiverse. I don't like
Well,
it because
yeah.
there's so many other actors out there. Why bring him back as a different character?
Well, true.
It's not even paying fan service. If you were bringing him back to play fan service, it'd be one thing. But it's like, why don't you just get somebody else to play him?
Right.
And I love Robert Downey Jr. He's one of my favorite actors, but I don't know.
What's really funny is the part of the reason why they killed Iron Man was because Robert Downey Jr.'s pay to be in those movies was exceptionally high. So they were like, okay, we're gonna have to kill off this character. And now they're in such a place where they're kind of like, maybe if we bring him back, we can not suck as much. And I'm like, Robert's is not the part of the equation here. I mean,
No,
Robert, first name basis, we're friends. We're not. I've never met him.
Yeah, you and Robert, you just hang out all the time. And
yeah. Well, he
you
won
and
his
him and
Oscar
the
now.
llamas, you just chill. And
He's got his Oscar now, so now he can go back to Marvel and not worry about not getting any other good roles because he's gotten his acclaimed role and he could go do fun stuff.
I mean, he can go back and do Tropic Thunder again. That was actually pretty good.
I love Tropic Thunder. That's such a good movie.
Weren't they going to do another Sherlock? I thought they were going to do another Sherlock
They are.
Holmes.
They're
Oh,
doing
they
a whole
are?
universe. They're going to do a whole universe like the Marvel verse, but Guy Ritchie's been filming a bunch of other stuff. So it's like trying to get the three of them all together at the same time when they're not busy.
Is Jude Law coming back?
Yeah, from what I hear.
Oh, really?
He was also gonna bring Johnny Depp into it too. I don't know if he was gonna play a villain or something. So I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm also
I don't
waiting
know.
for the next season of Fallout. I don't know if anyone's
tried.
watched that at all. Yeah.
I never played the video game. My son and my husband did, and they liked
Yeah.
the series, but it just didn't do anything for me.
They say it's moving. Well, see, here's the thing. They say that it's moving along, like production's moving along pretty quickly, and I'm like, but see, that worries me slightly because is it gonna be crap when it comes out then?
So I'll tell you guys an industry secret. They're always working on season 2 when season 1 is in production, and then they'll say that they got approved to do season 2. But usually what happens is they'll be halfway through when they announce it based on fan reaction, and then they'll make it be like, oh man, we put it out real fast just for you guys, right?
Yeah.
So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be a little less frightened that it'll suck then.
I did rewatch Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick this past weekend, and I got to say I think my favorite part of the sequel is his inner monologue when he's in the cockpit talking to himself. It's hilarious. Come on, don't blow this. Let's not get fired our first day on the job. He's giving himself his own pep talks. And I guess they're filming that third one of that soon.
Ooh. They're doing a third one?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Well, the second one was quite successful, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah. They're probably trying to bank on that nostalgia as well. They're like, everything sucks right now except the stuff from the 80s. I guess we can try that again.
Yeah, but they're remaking everything. They're remaking a sequel to Freaky Friday. Like, why?
I think they're out of original ideas. They have
Mhm.
to redo it.
And,
Well,
sometimes you don't
Original
need...
idea. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I think you and I are about to say the same thing, Anne. Get out of my head. But you go first.
No, I was just going to say that original ideas aren't safe. Hollywood doesn't know that risk is their business. Like they need to do
Exactly.
new things. They need to try new things. Sorry, you go ahead.
Or I
Yeah,
can't
but
even
it's
tell you
like
the last time I saw a movie just because I don't know. They don't interest me.
We don't go. No.
we don't usually go to the theater. We wait till we can watch them at home.
Mm-hmm.
I flip
I
and
went
love
to go.
movies.
They're too
I went to go
expensive.
see. Well, that. I went to go see the Twisters movie.
Ooh, how's that?
It was actually pretty good. I'll say this. I
heard
mean,
it's-
if you're expecting a sequel to the original, you're going to be very, very, very disappointed. However, they do pay homage in various aspects to the original movie, but it's definitely not a sequel. But it was really good though, I thought. I mean, I didn't think it was like too overdone in terms of stuff, and there wasn't any like major like wokeness to it either, which was,
I think they were all
nice.
paranoid about woke.
Well-
It's like, okay, I only saw like 10% woke. 10%.
Well, even the director said he didn't talk about climate change because he wanted to just make an entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's and so
Imagine that.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty good. I thought it was a good soundtrack too. So yeah, I'd recommend going to see it if y'all haven't yet.
I just need them to go and make woke like its own genre. Like, because
Yes.
it's like, if you have, no,
Right.
because like, here's the thing, like, if you have something that is woke, guess what? Woke takes over the entire thing, right? So they just need to say, it's like, okay, I'm writing this woke book. And everybody's like, okay, cool. I already know what it's about. Thank you. Right. But then they like tried to disguise something as like, cyberpunk or whatever. But nope, it's woke. So it's like, it's not cyberpunk, it's woke.
You can't just
Two-
sprinkle it in.
Yeah.
little seasoning. So two separate things. First, because I love the theaters, they're replaying The Crow, not the new crappy version, the original version. I'm like,
Ooh.
I'm getting popcorn. That Good Cure soundtrack is going to hit my ears. I'm going to be so happy. Do I own the DVD? Yes, I do. Am I going to pay more than I did like 5 times over for the DVD on watching it in theaters and getting popcorn? Yes, I will. I'm going to have a great time. I'm a fantastic date. I'm just saying. But so speaking of the woke stuff, so here I am in my Star Trek marathon. I will get through it. It'll be very exciting. So I'm watching a little bit of Next Generation, and the beat.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
She froze up again.
Yep.
And come back.
It's like she sets herself up for cliffhangers.
Yeah. That's us up for him.
Well, there's no new comedy in the UK, but apparently they're filming one just down the road from me. But it's an LGBTQ whatever comedy.
Oh, Lord.
Ugh.
Is woke even funny?
Don't know how that's going to be funny.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe
Watch
it is.
old stuff. David and I are currently watching The Blacklist, and that's pretty good. We're on season 3, so he's all into it.
I think
Plus,
that's as far
James
as I
Spader.
got.
What's that?
I think season 3 is where I stopped.
Why'd you stop?
It just got very predictable. He's just messing with people.
Yeah. I don't know. David likes it. It's good.
I mean, the acting was superb. It just got boring to me. That's all.
Yeah. That's okay.
There was a show, I think it was called Lie to Me. If you guys remember that. Yeah, I remember watching Lie to Me. And as somebody who does not work directly with law enforcement, but has been like on the outside of it, right? I always thought it was exceptionally funny that these FBI agents would run into like high stake like crime moments and be like, we're human lie detectors. Make way. We're gonna go in and fix all of this. And I was like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Be like, I read facial expressions. Don't worry, it's fine. Like, but they would do that like every episode. They would like go into like whatever like shootout was there and be like, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna see his micro expressions and it's all gonna be good.
I've been watching a lot of the court cam, and this one girl with her Taylor Swift defense. She's very entitled and got
For what?
arrested. I guess she got in a domestic violence thing with her half sister over something. I don't know, but she's the one who got arrested for beating up her half sister. So she goes to face the judge, and she tells the judge, you know, she's going to Europe to follow Taylor Swift around, so she can't be on probation. And the judge is like, well, I'm sorry, probation, you can't leave the state unless you have a valid reason. So she goes to I guess her attorney applied for her to leave the country for work suddenly now, and claiming that she's going on this work trip. And the judge is like, well, you have to send me this spreadsheet with where you're going to be every instance. You know, are you really going for work, or are you going to follow Taylor Swift? She's like, well, I might see a couple concerts. So he says to her, he goes, well, if I get the spreadsheet saying exactly where you're going to be, where all your flights are, hotel, all the numbers and stuff for your work events and everything, I will let you go, but I have to have it by like 1:00. And she's like, well, I'm leaving today. And her attorney's like, well, we'll get it to you today. Well, I guess they got the spreadsheet to the judge, but it turns out she wasn't working for that company anymore, and she was basically just going to follow Taylor Swift around. So the judge said she couldn't leave the country, and she was going anyway. She was going to go anyway, and so the police showed, they put a warrant out for her for lying to the judge. Police showed up at her house. I guess she got in a fight with the police and got another charge on her. So she's back in jail, and her attorney's trying to get her out on probation. And he's like, well, you know, and the judge is like, thought about it, but she's so rude, like she's so entitled and rude, and she talks back to the judge and stuff. And the attorney's like, well, is there going to be a way that she could get a PR bond? And the judge's like, well, I thought about it. And then she opened her mouth. And now, no, because it's like your story's changed 3 times. She doesn't even work for that company anymore. So she was lying.
Doesn't even.
And she tells this judge she needed to go for a family reunion. It's like, you know, they have access to the transcripts of the previous hearings, you know. Like, it's not a vacuum. One judge can find out what the other judge ordered. There's like records of this. So he sent her back to the other judge, and he gave her $10,000 bail bond. But she has to be in 2 weeks, but she can't post it for 2 weeks because he's making her stay for 2 weeks on her other case because it's domestic violence. And it's so funny and he goes, oh yeah, and I'm sending this back to the other judge, the one who you lied to, and you can deal with him. But her whole thing is she needed to be around Europe to follow Taylor Swift around. I'm like, that's kind of stalkerish.
I'm sure
Yeah,
that's
I
what
mean,
we appreciate that from our biggest fan.
I'm sure
And
that
he's
the
put-
orange jumpsuit looks real good on her right now.
Well, and he's making her have a scram tether, an alcohol tether. And she goes, well, I don't drink. And yet the police report said she had a history of alcoholism. So the judge is like, well, you say you don't drink, but I don't know that. And part of probation is you can't drink or take drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, fine, whatever. I'll just take
What if
it.
she
Like,
got
it's not-
into Taylor Swift to get over the alcoholism?
I don't know, but I've just seen a couple of her hearings, and she's so rude to the judge and to the attorneys. It's like, you do realize you're making it way harder for yourself. If you were a little bit, you know, turn it down just a little bit, you might get a little bit more treatment better. And the judge tried to tell her, but she doesn't listen. And they just crack me up when these people go to court. It's like this one guy, he wanted to fire his attorney and represent himself. And the judge is like, you realize you're facing 2 life sentences, right? And you want to fire your attorney. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to ask for a probation. I can do that. Judge is like, you're facing 2 life sentences. What makes you think you're going to get probation? You killed somebody.
Well, that was always like, when I used to work for, the local the county clerk of court. It's like people would come in and they'd be like, I want to file stuff myself, and it's like, okay, and then they'd be like, I need to file a thing against my neighbor, something for like small claims, and then they'll be like, what do I need? I'm like, I can't tell you what you need. And they're like, well, why not? You know what for? And I'm like, no. I said, see, the whole thing of, I always wanted to be like, see, the whole thing of filing yourself means that you need to know what for. Like, I can't do that. And then there was one time, like, a guy just was not getting it, and I finally said to him, I said, let me put it to you this way. I said, say I help you, with this form and tell you how to fill it out, and you pay the however, $100-some filing fee that's associated with it. Let's say you go to your court date, and commissioner looks it over and says, actually this, this isn't correct or whatever, and throws it out. You just spent that money and that time because you listened to me. I'm like, trust me, you don't want me helping you fill this out.
Well, yeah, because you can't give legal advice. That's not your
Right.
job. Like the
And
judge
finally,
can't
the guy,
give legal
got
advice.
it. Right. And I think the guy finally got it, but of course he was annoyed, as most people were who would, come in there when I tell them, no, I'm not able to help you with this. It's like, that's the whole thing. When you file your, that's what your lawyer does. That's, this is, choose not go out. I mean, I get it. Lawyers are expensive. I get it. But it's like,
this one judge down in Georgia, this black lady, she cracks me up because she will just tell them like it is. Like this one guy, he keeps talking and he's making the situation worse for him, and she's just, shut up. You have the right to remain silent. You need to use it. Like, I'm trying to save you. Quit arguing with me. Like, she'll tell him, like, why do you have 6 children when you can't afford one? Do you not know how babies are made? You need to stop what you're doing. And she's just like this grandma, like, telling their grandkids off. And it's so funny because she just lets them have it.
Welcome back in.
And it's back again.
I keep trying. It's uphill.
The internet hasn't liked you for a while, Anne. What did you do?
I don't know. Angered it. Said some un-PC things.
Imagine that.
Now I kind of want to know.
Let's do a list right now.
Get out the spreadsheet.
Well, they are trying to scrub. They are trying to scrub Trump from Google, so better watch out, Anne. You might be next.
I saw the Trump fists in the air photo on Instagram, and they said this is a generated image. I'm like, no, babe, it ain't.
Misinformation. Yep.
They did that with Brandon's post too at work because he just like tried to retweet it immediately. Like X was just kind of like, no, we have to take it down because it's propaganda. I was like, it's not. Like what are you all doing? Like, where's Elon? Elon, what's happening to your company?
Have Elon, get on this.
I did see a thing. There was a video of people who were at the hospital in Butler who were in the waiting room. They didn't know, they didn't know what had gone on. They were just, heard people say, oh, something happened to Trump. And he came in with the Secret Service. And these people, it was so heartening. They were just like, it's okay. He's walking on his own. There's a lot of blood. But it's okay. And who knows if they were Trump supporters or not, but they were just people who realized, hey, something terrible happened. Thank goodness, they're okay. Like,
yeah,
I don't like Biden, but I wouldn't want him assassinated. Like, I don't get all it's okay to want somebody dead because they have a different political view thing anymore.
Yeah, it's weird.
We're people with morals, Liz.
Yeah, just cracks me up. Elon's busy anyway fighting Disney.
Oh, is he? Over what?
Over Gina Carano's lawsuit that didn't get dismissed.
Ooh.
Yes. That was huge.
Yep.
Admittedly, I haven't been up on the news lately, so.
Well, she sued him for firing her,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yep,
they tried to get it
that'll do it.
dismissed, and the judge said no.
I
Oh,
don't mean,
that's good. At least they couldn't weasel their way out of it.
Elon's backing her, so because he said he would back anyone who's fired from their job for their political views.
Mhm.
I don't know if he has any other people he's supporting, but
Tommy
No.
Robinson, I think. We can
I
watch
know
the
he talked
video.
to. Yeah, I know he talked to Kara at one point, but hasn't circled back yet. So
Tommy Robinson's
Mm.
silenced documentary isn't like we're not supposed to be watching it in this country, but we can all watch it on Twitter.
I watched
X.
yeah.
I'm glad he was able to get out of the country without being arrested again. I mean,
Yeah,
imprisoned
so
again.
am I.
I know he got arrested, but they let him leave the country.
wait, what are you
And then-
talking about? I'm sorry, I have no context for this.
For Tommy Robinson in England?
My face.
You're not alone. Me neither.
Annie, explain, please.
Well,
He's
it's a
a
bit of
free
a long story, isn't it? He's the only person who's telling the truth about what do you call it? Well, do you know
The gangs of
he's
people
got-
preying on young girls.
yeah, the gangs.
Oh, we call them predators. I think you can say that
Um,
on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you can say
for
predator.
well over a decade, they've
long
he's
time.
been getting it from all sides for talking out about it.
Mm-hmm.
The mainstream media has made him out to be a racist and somebody you wouldn't want to know. And actually, for a while, I was believing it. But if you actually listen to him speaking and what he has to say, you can see who's telling the truth. So he's fighting the establishment really from the bottom to the top. But yeah, me and my husband sat and watched that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
His documentary.
Is
Yeah.
he part of
Sickening?
Project Phoenix?
No.
I think he
Oh, I
don't know.
predates
Yeah.
a lot
Well,
of
I'm-
organizations.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Project Phoenix is still ongoing, so it hasn't that much I still remember. So
They arrest him for nothing.
Mhm.
So there was
Apparently-
a march at the weekend, but there was a march previous to that, and he was arrested for eating his breakfast in a cafe.
They can
Yeah, his
they consider him a
presidency-
terrorist.
Yeah, they just arrest him without any explanation, really. He's not a terrorist, is he?
No, he's not, but that's how they treat him, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, that's
he's so
because
dangerous.
he had
But
to
also,
speak.
if he was a terrorist proper, he'd just be, skipping around doing terrorist things while those
Well, yeah,
Like you did.
lone wolves who are known wolves.
having his
And-
identity protected and things.
And don't confuse the facts. Come on now.
Yes.
So yes, sickening attack today, but completely ironic when they're chasing him around and making a big deal out of Tommy
Mhm.
Robinson, and then
That
things
was
like that
horrific.
going on.
That was awful.
Yeah, we had him on our radar. Oh, did you? Huh.
Oh, we've heard
Crazy.
that before. Yeah.
I lived in
Yeah.
Southport
How big is
for,
this
for
radar?
a year.
Mm-hmm.
I did live there, and it was a really lovely place when I lived there.
Seems like they always have these people on their radar. But does their radar?
What's the point? There's
Yeah,
no
like
point,
what-
is there? Unless you've got somebody watching them and following them around, what's the point of having them on your radar?
So
Doesn't
that
make
they
any
can
difference.
say we had him on our radar.
Yeah, that doesn't make the law enforcement look any better, though.
They don't.
It's not
care.
effective, is it?
No, not really.
I know there's been like not to talk down about British law enforcement, but they have an interesting way of approaching things. Actually, all of England has an interesting way of approaching things. I say that nicely. Because when I lived there for a short period, because my father was military and we were stationed in England, he got me a cell phone, right? And the intention of the cell phone wasn't to talk to my friends. He literally got like the cheapest phone he could, like it was a brick. I could throw it and hurt somebody, right? Like that's how stylish it was. And at one point, I got stranded at my bus stop because my base was just kind of like, we're not going to drive the bus all the way up to drop you off. You can have your parents come pick you up over at this spot. And, you know, I got off and my mom wasn't there. And so I tried to call her and I got a message saying, like, you're not allowed to make outbound calls at this time. And I was like, I have money on my phone. I don't understand. Right. So come to find out, after my Southern father called our provider, the company had taken it upon themselves that because I wasn't making outbound calls, they decided to turn that feature off, but did it without notifying me. Right. And so my father is a very softly spoken man, and he was not very softly spoken during that phone call. And he basically told the person that, you know, if my daughter had been raped and thrown into a ditch, right, she had no way to call for help. And they're like, well, she couldn't have called 999. And it's like, that's not the point. Like, she had no way to ask for help. And it's not to use the word that we're...
999 still works, doesn't it? I think.
Does it?
It works if you don't have money on your phone, it'll still work.
Yeah, but it was also like, you know, I could have called my parents, I could have called somebody else, right? Like 999 is kind of like the last resort, and that's after something terrible has happened.
Where did you live?
I lived in Peterborough in a little village. It was called Grapham, and I use air quotes because we lost our pub, so I wasn't really going to call it a village if we didn't have a pub, so we're like a little town.
It's still a village without a pub.
No, you gotta have a pub. Like, that's how it works. Every village got a pub. But yeah, no, I was there for about 7 years. So
I saw a video today. This woman called the cops to this bar. Older lady who lived above this bar, but her incident didn't happen in the bar. It happened in another bar. She claims when she left the other bar, somebody pushed her down and rubbed her face in the gravel. And she admitted that she had been drinking at the other bar when this happened. But so the police is trying to investigate it, and she's saying, oh yeah, and they pushed my face in the ground, and he's like, okay, then why did you just go to another bar right away? Why didn't you go back inside and stay where it happened? Like, that makes no sense. But she had to go upstairs and change. So he goes to the bar where this happens, and they have no idea about it. Her friends were in the bar. They're like, it doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't she have walked back in and seen her friends if this had happened to her outside? Instead, she just got in her car and drove away, drunk. So he gets a surveillance camera, and it shows that no one pushed her down. She tripped all by herself and fell on the ground. And he calls her up to tell her this, and she's like, but I was pushed. He's like, but on video, you weren't pushed. We have the video. Well, but you don't understand, I was pushed. And the cops, he's like, well, I understand that you're going to get a citation for making a false report. That's what I understand. But it's like, lady, you can admit, it's like she couldn't admit she just tripped. So she had to have this whole convoluted story that someone pushed her down. And then she drove drunk to another bar to tell it. Like, clearly she has issues. But he spent all day trying to investigate this stupid thing that wasted his time when there wasn't even a crime. So it's pretty funny. She ended up calling police on herself. Yeah. Hey, Annie, do you want to say what happened? Because you know more of the details.
Oh, yeah.
I think the 2 children have died.
Mm-hmm.
6 are critical.
Oh.
2 adults have been injured. I don't really know that much.
Have they said who did it yet, or are they still covering that up?
Well, it's whether it's verified, isn't it? But yeah, more or less, yeah, they are for 17-year-old, and they've named him as well. And people are saying he's probably not 17.
I
I don't think
That's
1 year
good.
from adulthood would save him if it was anyway for what he's done.
No. But well, in this country they wouldn't name. I don't know how the name his name has got out.
They wouldn't try a 17-year-old as an adult there, depending on the crime.
No.
Wow. They'll try it, depending on the state here, they'll try 11-year-old as an adult in some states.
Here we had that, case with the, Slender Man, stabbing. I think the girl at the time was, I think they were I think she was 12, 13, something. It's
I think they
something
were, yeah.
crazy, something crazy like that.
Well, that one that happened the other day where that 12-year-old killed her 8-year-old cousin, they're trying to get her tried as an adult over an iPhone. They were fighting over an iPhone, except she waited till her cousin was asleep and then smothered her.
So it's hardly self-defense.
It isn't, and they had it on camera because I guess they had cameras in the house. And then she covered it up to make it seem like her cousin had just moved in her sleep. So that's somebody who thought about what they were doing. That's not, heat of the moment type thing.
Right.
But they're trying to get her tried as an adult because otherwise they can only keep her until she's 19 and then
yeah.
yeah. So, I don't know.
One girl now from that case, she's trying to petition to get out because she's currently in a mental institution now, but she's trying to get out. But they're like, nope.
I don't think either one of those girls should have ever gotten out there. Something was wrong with both of them.
Yeah.
I don't understand just going along with your friend saying, hey, let's kill our other friend. They were both part of it.
Yep.
So.
But then it was really odd because, I was listening to, there was a case, I believe it was in Milwaukee. Wouldn't be a shocker if it was because Milwaukee's, gone to hell. But anyway, it was a case of a younger girl. I forget the age. I think it was a bit older than what the girls of, the other stabbing were. But she was mad at, her father for something, and they had both gotten in a car, and the father was driving, but before they had left the house, she had grabbed one of the kitchen knives from the block and concealed it and got into the car, and she was in the back seat. And then at one point while they were driving, she stabbed him. And in that case, and I believe the father lived, thankfully. But with that case, the girl ended up just getting she must have been an adult or something, because it was they were talking about, I forget it exactly, what it was, but she just got, released, just on probation, all that. And it's like, okay, you have two cases that are, semi-similar, in terms of, just the whole, it's like probation. That's it. But again, this is also, Milwaukee that we're talking about too. So, that makes, see, it's like, I wish these judges that, we see on TV, or like the one judge that you were talking about, Liz, it's like, I wish more of these judges existed.
Yeah,
But,
there's some bad judges and good judges, and just like there's good, bad and good everybody, but
yeah,
some of these judges just blow the mind at what they let go. And I know a lot of it's because prisons are crowded and they don't have, and they're supposed to try to keep people out of prison. And I get that. But sometimes people shouldn't be on the streets, for public safety.
Right. I mean, talking about crimes in which people have been stabbed, it's like you don't think she's gonna do it again? Like, you know.
At least
Like,
in the knitting
okay.
world, people only fake their own deaths. And I
Has
wish
there
it had
been
only
another
happened
one?
once. There's been at least what, 2 or 3 trees? At least 2 fake deaths and 1
I
fake
can think
cancer.
of 3. And there's probably more. Crazy.
I was gonna say, did someone else recently just get caught doing that, or are we talking about the other previous ones?
There's
Uh,
been some recently ones, I don't know, not death, but of, stopped delivering because of
in
personal issues and
yeah,
then disappear.
right.
Mm.
But I don't know, it's crazy.
I had a friend of mine fake his own death. He's a horse trainer in Delaware, and at one point he had this really, really good horse, and he was kind of famous in those circles, on the East Coast. The horse's name was Fred Bearclaw, and he won a bunch of races. Well, there was some kind of dispute with his ex-wife or who owned the horse and this and that, and he got into like tax trouble and everything. So one day somebody called us up and said, "Oh, Archie's dead. He's dead. Oh no!" So we're all sad and everything. And so here we're thinking that Archie's dead for like a couple years, and then one day we went to Delaware Park and we walk up to the bar upstairs, and there's Archie sitting there. It's like, wow, it's like seeing a ghost. He faked his own death to get out of paying taxes or whatever.
And he got away with it? They didn't come after him?
I don't know what they did. I was just like, I don't want to be involved in this.
Run, Archie, run.
Run, Archie.
Like,
Have you
I've
heard
now
of
seen
John
you.
Darwin?
Like, hello.
If Archie was
Have you
smart,
heard
he
of John
wouldn't go back.
Darwin in America? John Darwin faked his death. He lived round the corner from me. He set off in a canoe. He went to sea in a canoe. His wife picked him up round the corner. He went missing.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that story. I saw a thing on that.
He hid in his attic for 2 years or something.
Didn't he like build a whole fancy hidden room in the attic or something? And the kids didn't even know he was alive?
His 2 sons didn't know.
This is a great night for popcorn. You guys got the best stories today.
He turned up claiming he had amnesia.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. Dumb criminals.
They made a documentary about it and they made a drama about it too. He was a total fantasist. I saw him when he was dead. He smiled at me. Only when he went missing, like, the local paper only had a picture of his house and the car on the front because his wife never gave them a picture of his face. Because then people would know what he looked like, wouldn't they? So I didn't know what he looked like. And then he turned up in Panama buying a flat. Some journalists found his picture when he turned up saying he couldn't remember anything. And I thought, where do I know that smile from? He's literally just round the corner. It's like a 5-minute walk, if that. It was all over all the news. I could have run round and been behind the cameras waving when it was on the news. And that was where I knew his smile from, because he'd smiled at me outside the house. You'd probably seen me going past with a dog like loads of times and felt like he knew me. But he hid in his loft for a couple of years, yeah.
That's crazy.
People
They
be
owned
crazy.
a big house, and they owned a big house next door, which was, I think it was either a bed and breakfast or flats, and he was hiding up at the top, and there was some sort of a secret door at the top.
Oh, jeez.
Did they ever say why he did it?
For money? I don't know. Yeah, for the
I think he owed
insurance
money.
'cause he was in debt.
Yeah, I
But
think
he
he
could have
owed
sold
people.
one of his houses. He could have got it. He could have got out of it. He had the money to get out of it. Or he could have got the money to get out of it, but he didn't want to do it the honest way. So.
I just don't get how these people think that like they're actually gonna pull this off. It's like you just want to be like, you do know that like, okay, if you're gonna go down this road, like you gotta like go all out. Like you can't just still stay in your house like this. Like no.
Especially in this day and age when everything is so digitally tracked,
Right.
and your bank
Yeah.
account, everything. It's just
Right.
it's not
It's like-
possible.
It's
Kind
like,
of had a
okay,
phone, I don't know. He was
like
a
off
prison
the
officer.
grid.
And he grew a beard and walked around with his hood up. If he did go out, after a while,
Big
he had
glasses.
to go out. He couldn't stay in. And he crossed over the road in front of one of his old work colleagues.
Oh my
Wow.
lord. It
That's
just
hilarious.
The
These
sea was
people are
like
so
a mill
dumb.
pond that day. The sea was really flat calm. And I think the Coast Guards knew. They knew he hadn't. But I don't know how many years later it was that he turned up.
Didn't they convict his friend for helping him or something?
No, I don't think so. His wife.
I don't know. Don't fake your death, kids.
See, and that's just one of those things where it's like I just like if like if my spouse came to me and said, "Honey, I need you to help me," I'd be like, no,
No.
absolutely not. How about no? Like it's just wild.
I
Like,
think
it's
they
like
tried
that's
to
just
make out that she was sort of manipulated and that. I'm
so
not
he's
sure.
got amnesia but yet oh yeah, see that I'd just be like, I would love to just be like the investigator and just be the one to just like knock on the door and have him answer and be like, "Gotcha." Like, "Hi." Like,
Oh,
well, hello. Welcome back from the dead. Let's go.
There,
Well, yeah. If I'd have known what he looked like, I would have known I'd seen him.
Yeah, people are weird.
If someone goes missing, what do? You give the local newspaper the photograph, don't you?
Yep. Most recent picture.
Well, here in the United States, you
He
can
was
get
really
the
smart to
driver's
have got
license
a
picture.
terrible picture and handed it.
Oh
It'd be on the news and things, wouldn't it?
okay. Sorry.
You'd
it
be
depends on
worried,
who it is.
desperate to find them.
We get a lot of silver alerts out here. That all they do is like identify like the car. Look for this car. I'm like, okay, I'm looking. Silver alerts, for anybody that doesn't know, is when the elderly go missing.
Right. We
right,
have those
yeah,
here
we
in
get them.
Nevada.
Okay, I just had a moment where it's like, maybe not everybody knows what that means.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
get
them out
older
here
people and
because
teenagers.
people go missing here in the desert.
That's scary.
It is, because most of the time it could easily be prevented.
There was we weren't friends, but it's like we would talk to each other, right? And she worked at I can't remember the actual name of it. I bet chat will know, but it's like when you work at the funeral home and your job is to reconstruct, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. And so I was asking her how her job was going, because the people that do those jobs, they're kind of interesting. So I'm always like kind of excited to talk to them because of the quirk that they get, right? And she was like, "Well, I got a case that I couldn't work." And I was like, "Well, why couldn't you work it?" And she's like, "Coyotes." And I was like, "Oh."
Ooh.
Yeah. Apparently somebody just wandered out and decided to take a nap and didn't wake up. Had to use dental records. Exciting topics today.
We have actual coyotes in the city right now, and
What?
had a mountain lion sighting a couple weeks ago in downtown by
Crap.
one of the casinos.
Those are nasty.
They are. Someone's like, first sighting, people like, oh, it was a coyote. And I'm looking at the pictures. I'm like, no, that's not a coyote. People,
It's a big kitty.
that's way too big. Because it was just at first, it was a dark, like at nighttime, and you could see the shadow, but it was not even.
So we go here, kitty.
It was
kitty.
cat shaped. It wasn't coyote shaped. And then later on, they said it was a mountain lion. But no
We had some
Bigfoot.
some bears that were kind of coming close. There was one. This was a while ago though, but like we had one that was on one of our highways heading towards like southernmost part of the state, kind of going towards Illinois, and someone actually hit a bear. And
Wow.
you know, it was like whoo. But yeah, they're coming further and further south. It's kind of interesting, but it's like, yeah, no, careful there. Like, you know, I'm thinking. I mean, I know bears can be fast, but like, you know, like, how do you not see the bear in the road? Unless maybe it was off to like the side, but like it was on like a highway though. So I'm like, and it's like a multi-lane highway. I'm like, how do you not see? I'm like this giant bear, but yeah, who knows?
I saw a post from the National Park Service, you know, because their posts are hilarious. And it's like about bears and it's like don't try to make yourself big and yell at a bear. That won't work. Don't try to outrun your slower friend. That's not going to work either. You know, if the bear is acting on all these ways, it's aggressive, and just, you know, back away slowly and don't, you know, be aggressive. Because 9 times out of 10, the bear does not want to attack you.
Yeah.
We used to get the brown bears a lot in New Jersey when I lived there.
Yeah, my aunt was telling me how when she was on vacation with my other aunt at her parents' place up north, you know, they get bears around, you know, sometime, and they were coming back from fishing, and they have their own private, you know, like pier, and they were getting off the boat and kind of coming back, and you know, from the house, my aunt's mom was, you know, yelling, you know, there's a bear, and there was a bear like coming like right like towards the, you know, it was, you know, a couple hundred yards yet, but it was like walking to, you know, it was walking through the, you know, backyards, and it was, you know, approaching, you know, their yard. And at first they didn't like hear what they, you know, they didn't hear that she was yelling bear, and so they kind of were just, you know, not looking, and then they looked over, saw that it was, you know, like, you know, coming, and my aunts of course were, you know, freaking out, and her dad's like, oh no, it's all right, you know, it's like, I was very very like nonchalant to the fact that there was like a bear just, you know, like coming on by, and my aunt was like, I was about this close to just jumping in the water and swimming away. I'm like, yeah, but you do know that, like, bears can swim, right? Like, you know, like, good try, but, you know, and then, you know, from the house, you know, then pots and pans started, you know, going, and the bear, you know, ran off, but it kept going through all, like, the backyards, you know, just, you know, like going off, and she's like, some things, you know, she's like, I need to, you know, use the bathroom after that. I'm like, like, I don't blame you. I'm like, but yeah, going in the water. Mm-mm.
There was a video that went viral a few years ago about a family of black bears that went into these people's backyard in their swimming pool and on their swing set. And it's hilarious because you can tell the mother bear is just like done with these cubs. Like she's laying in the pool and the cubs are running around and jumping on the swing set. Some of them are trying to get in the pool and not getting in the pool. And she's just laying there like, just please give me my break. Like, can you entertain yourself for like 5 minutes and let me just sit in this pool and just sit here for a minute? and some of them would try to get in the pool and then they jump back because they didn't know what it was and the water was weird, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, there was a video I saw of like this little, this I think it was like a golden doodler or something like that, but it was, the mom and the, puppy, and mom's just kind of, like laying, just like laying back, not doing anything, and the puppy's just, bouncing all around, playing, and and then at one point, the mama dog is like just like snaps, like and, and then the puppy just kind of just very like ever so slowly kind of like backs away and then just sits real real calm, it's like, yep, that's mama's had enough. No more. That's it.
Definitely. So, Anne, what are your plans for your Olympic knit along? Are you just going to keep working on your hat, or do you have other things you want to knit?
I'm just gonna keep working on my hat. I hope to have a for real pattern done soon, which is exciting. Haven't done one of those.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Come back, Anne. Come back.
See, we try to talk to her and just
It all
she
goes
freezes
down.
up. And
so
Shauna's got the
sad.
cute. Shauna's got the cute puppy.
Yep. She's like, why weren't you paying attention to me?
How
There's
dare
a
you not pay
Fiona.
attention?
Aww. So cute.
I'm the most
Okay.
interesting person in this room right now because I have popcorn. As I have my 2 dogs that are here.
Fiona likes popcorn too.
It's delicious.
All dogs do, I think.
They like food.
We when we were in Iowa, over at our friend's house, they had like 3 dogs. One was kind of a little on anti-anxiety meds at one point, which was for the best. But the other 2, they knew what they were about. They're kind of like, I see you got some food there. What's going on? I happen to be in need of that food.
Like, hi, how's it going? What's on your plate there?
Is that some brisket? Do you have brisket? Brisket's delicious. I would love to have it with you.
And have I told you that you're the best? You're like my favorite out of all the people in the room.
I know you're not mom, but you're really cool.
Yeah, they try to be so nonchalant.
They're not fooling anyone, but it works.
I had a friend that came over, and she has a dog that she doesn't have spayed, so occasionally, the dog goes into heat, right? And so it was funny because when she came over, Kissy did not want anything to do with her, at all. She was just like, get away from me, don't touch me, which is really strange because this is the most cowardly dog that you'll ever find, right? If she sees that you're a biped individual, she's going to assume that you're probably going to take her somewhere safe. Right. So watching her have this fuck off mentality, that was new for me. So I put her in the kennel. She took a nap. It was good. Ranger, on the other hand, kind of sauntered on up. And he was like, I smell some bitches on you and I'm in need of bitches. Right. Yeah. Full charm. And he got a lot of food. A lot of food.
Our dog learned the trick that she could take a plate off the table without spilling it and just grab it and sit it down on the floor and eat underneath the table. And we wouldn't if we were finishing dinner and the kids were finishing and the dog would just take a plate, sit it under the table, and nobody would know until you went to go find the plate because she got so good she could do it without making a noise and not dropping the silverware or anything.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
a skill.
She was very smart. And she was not a guard dog at all, unless somebody threatened my children and then she would guard them. But somebody broke into the house, she'd lay on her back and want her belly rubbed, which I guess is typical of pit bulls a lot of the time. They just want attention.
Pit bulls are cute. They're wonderful dogs. They have a bad rap.
She was the most amazing dog. She had the best temperament. Never bit anybody. She didn't bark at all. She just didn't bark. And when my son was a baby, he kept playing with her food and she grabbed his hand. She didn't bite him. She just put her mouth on him like he was a puppy and moved his hand out of the bowl as a warning, like, hey, quit messing with my food. And he came running over, oh, she bit me, she bit me. And we're like, no, no, if she bit you, you would have known. This is her telling you not to mess with your food anymore. And so he never did, but she, you know, she just treated the kids like they were puppies when they were little. Because she liked children. She didn't like other dogs, though, and she really did not like cats at all. But she was a rescue, so we don't know what she went through before we ended up with her. Yeah, it's conspiracy started with Anne, and now it's hit Therese.
Oh no.
Come back to
Actually,
us.
Actually, it started with Joe Bob months ago, if we go technically.
Maybe this is a bad club to be in. I don't know if I want to be here.
Well, these other people keep coming back, Shauna, so we might be okay.
All right.
Sometimes this is how I stay informed about the world. I'm kind of like, what are you talking about? Like, what's this global thing? Like, wow, it's like I lived under this rock. Thank you.
Sometimes I like to be oblivious.
I try to on a lot of things.
Yeah, there's just too much to like know everything that's going on.
And a lot of it, there's nothing I can do to change it or affect it in any way. So me staying up and stressing over things only hurts me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, I try to pay attention to most important things going on, but
dog number 2 wants some limelight.
Oh.
This one's Ollie.
Oh.
okay.
Fine.
Shauna, you got requests to show your sock again.
Oh, yeah, I'm almost done with the leg. I've had to slow down. There's it's hard to find the camera on this thing. That's that, and then I don't know if whoever's asking saw it before, but that's what it will look like when it's done.
That is so cute.
Yes, I have to figure out how to do. I did the shadow wrap heel, so I have to figure out how to do that again because it's not my standard go-to. In fact, this might be one of maybe 2 that I knit ever.
Yeah.
It's not hard. I just have to refigure it out.
Yeah, I haven't done that one in a bit. I think I did 1 or 2. But
I just finally realized that the short row heel isn't the best for me. My husband has easier feet to fit, but for me, the heel flap and gusset's the way to go.
And we haven't gotten any Molly love recently.
No.
You need to send some more Molly pictures to us.
Well, you know.
She's still outcast?
She is.
Oh, poor princess. We can save her. We can go to the castle.
Yeah.
Hope Tabitha's not still watching because, you know, she'll tell Paisley and the rescue mission will start.
Paisley will steal my dog. I don't want Paisley to steal my dog. Cute as Paisley is, big fan of Paisley, but also
she can't have your dog.
She can't have my dog. Molly can't handle the competition. Tabitha has big dogs.
Yeah.
She's a delicate flower. By that I mean 65-pound bulldog.
She's delicate.
But emotionally, she's delicate.
Emotionally, just handling the pressure is hard for her.
Being a dog is rough. See my joke? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So what is your Halloween project, Caro?
No, I thought I showed you earlier.
You probably did, but I don't know if I saw it.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Oh, it's
my
okay.
bad.
No, you're good.
I saw when you showed the Patriot one, but then I don't remember if I looked up when you showed the other one.
You know what? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. I did. I did the Tunisian, yeah.
It's okay. I can have limelight some more. Pay attention to me. I'm needy. Here we go.
I do like that colorway.
I don't remember where I got it from. I think I got it from Raven. I'm a bad yarn person. I don't remember which wool spinner I support. I'm sorry, guys.
Here. Speaking of,
Oh. I know I support chicken lady.
yes.
Because I keep
We all
ordering shit and forgetting I ordered it from her. And then it just shows up. And my husband's like, what is this? And I was like, it looks like yarn.
He'll get used to it. Don't worry.
Yeah, mine doesn't know about this one.
That's
He'd
the
be
one.
like,
Yeah,
why
that's
do,
the one.
why do you need another set of minis
Yeah, that's the one
when
I'm
you
doing for the
haven't used-
Patriot.
when you haven't used the one that you've already got?
Listen, don't talk about my problems, right?
Oh, Tree says her computer won't restart.
No.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. Not to go back to my knitting, but I'm pretty excited about this cowl pattern. I'm really, really hoping that it turns out to be like a one skein thing, even though pattern says it's striped. But if I knit it all at once, I hope it's one skein. So it should be pretty close considering the size.
Have you weighed it?
No.
Because then you can kind of get a guesstimate of the yardage.
Yeah, but it's weird fiber content and thick and thin, and yeah, I don't know. But I was going to show Carol when I saw her gave me some yarn, and it's very pretty, and you can't tell on the thing, and I couldn't tell at first. It's like gold undertone on the black.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me make Anne big.
Big Ann.
Whoa!
There.
Oh, there's like some dog hair on this.
That's okay. We don't care about stuff like that.
Anyways, there we go. Look at that. It's got some lovely
Ooh.
gold undertones.
Pretty.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't know what to bring Ann when I was gonna first meet her. So I was like, I brought you yarn from Texas, made in Texas.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
It's Chaos Fiber Co.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yarn is always a good gift.
Yes.
Perfect.
Mhm.
And there's
I think she said there's two, but I don't know.
oh no.
Maybe.
Can't translate the frozen, Anne.
Oh, she's back.
Back?
Okay, what did you say, Ann?
No, I said there's two. And I have
Okay.
another cowl idea for it, which is kind of the same shape-ish, but something maybe a little, because I made this cowl and then my brother's like, I want one. And I didn't say, oh, that's a little metrosexual of you, but okay. But
And we know he doesn't. We know he doesn't watch, so it's all good.
right. But you know, but I had this this idea for a cowl pattern, which will either turn out well or be even weirder. So we'll see if that ever comes to fruition.
Weird is
I'm
fine.
curious, Anne, would it be weird to pick up around the top of the cowl and do like a ribbing to hold it closer?
It would be nice because let me put this on again. Because it's an I-cord edge on the top, so it doesn't really.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about what would be the warmest because I'm always freezing. So
Right. Like you could, I don't know, do a little gather or something. You could definitely do a little edge on the top of it. Work out.
yeah, I like
Hey.
that style. I haven't knit one though.
Right. I've been kind of digging around for a cowl pattern that I liked that is this sort of bib style, so it tucks into your coat. Cowl that I have, it's a plain 2x2 rib, and that is very much it's the middle of winter. I'm pulling this up over my face, and I have a scarf around my neck, and I have my jacket on and everything else, so it's like a multi-layered object. So yeah, this doesn't. Yeah. So this just kind of hangs. It doesn't really hold up. You
Yeah,
can
my
get
favorite, if you've never knit it, the sock head cowl. I love that. But it's just like 4 inches of ribbing, stockinette, and 4 inches of ribbing.
right.
And it's so nice and just cozy around your neck.
Do you have enough of your hand spun to do that? Because I know you said you didn't have enough for your muscle burra.
Oh yeah, definitely I would. Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that because that you can use, I mean, really anything. It doesn't have to be, I mean, it could be all be ribbing. You wouldn't you could have a shorter stockinette section or no stockinette or whatever. But yeah, I think that would work.
Well, I gotta go eat dinner. Well, first make dinner, then eat dinner. Fun times.
Well, I'm glad
Same
you
here.
came.
I hurried
it's
home
good. It
from
was good to
work
see
and
everybody.
jumped right on.
Well, glad both of you
Mm.
made it. Morgan, we've seen you twice in a month. That never happens.
I know, right?
And Joe
I
was really
know.
sad that she missed you because you left right before
I
she came on
know.
last
I
week.
saw it. I was like, gosh, dang it.
And she's like, "Oh no, I just missed Morgan." So
Yeah, one of these days, well, I don't know. I've been thinking about trying to record again. But see, here's the thing. I make zero promises with that because, I say that, like I get myself all hyped up and then I'm like, you know, and then I thought about, like, I think I mentioned it here one time. I'm like, yeah, I could do like a live stream or something. And I'm like, yeah, but see, here's the thing. Like, I just, it's like I say that, I get myself all hyped up for it, and then I'm like, just not feeling it today.
well,
So,
Tree still wants to do the sock arm sweater, so we need to do that at some point.
and Joe Bob did volunteer me that I had to host that. So I really need to get cracking on like recording again, like maybe regularly, semi-regularly, but I make no promises. But
Well,
we'll see.
well, I have the yarn to knit another one of those, and I have a partial one started. But I want to do the pressed flowers cardigan, and I have the yarn for it, so I want to do that sometime in the fall.
It's a pretty one.
Oh yeah.
So I have that. And Anne, that Knit Happy book, the one from Telly Bean Knits that has the sock arm sweater in it.
Okay, yeah.
She has a bandana cowl in there.
Nice.
If you want to see how she did it. Hers is knit all flat,
Okay.
but just to
Mine
get
is
an
also
idea,
knit flat.
it's more fitted than yours. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, I will see y'all and talk to y'all.
Thanks,
hopefully
Morgan.
soon. Thanks for having me on.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
And now I'll send you the giant spider pillow thing later.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Because you're the only one I know who would want one. So,
Yep.
I've got some
Payday's
good spiders
tomorrow.
in my greenhouse.
yeah,
Ooh.
you have
There
real
you go.
spiders too.
Yeah,
Morgan would come over and make them all pets.
Yep, and come and
They
get
hang
them.
out in the,
Be like, okay, my new pets.
got them all
Here we
over the
go.
garden.
Yeah.
All right, well, take care, everybody.
Hi, I should go
Bye.
too.
Thank you
really.
for coming.
I'm gonna go too, but I finished my sock leg, so
Yay. Well, thanks for being on. We've been wanting you to
Yeah.
come on. Well, we didn't know what your schedule was, so
yeah, I never know either. I mean, technically it's Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., but also on call 24/7. So anything can happen.
well, we're glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, it's been a rough summer as far as that goes. But anyway, yeah, thanks guys. I will hopefully be back sometime.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing your next section of your socks to see what happens next because it's like a reality show to see
I'll be up
where
early
it's
in the
going.
morning, and yes, I'm gonna look at that clue. So I will give you
Very
guys an
cool.
update.
Cool. Thanks for being
Bye.
on. Bye.
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 Annie, I can't believe you're still awake. Usually you're telling us you're too tired now.
No, I think I just get past being tired and then don't feel tired anymore.
Could
I'm
be.
kind of used to sleep deprivation with hot flushes in the night, and now I've got a cat that meows at me in the middle of the night. And
Yeah, I don't have the cat, but the hot flashes are not fun. At all.
she doesn't do it when my husband's here, but he gets up early, he has early shifts. So when he's gone, I think I don't know what she comes in and meows at me. I don't know
Well,
why.
clearly
Worked it out.
you're not paying her enough attention, so she has to meow.
She was in the kitchen one night meowing when he got up. He sits in the dark and has a cup of coffee and sits in the dark. And he shouted up the stairs, "What?" I was like, "I never said anything." And he realised it was the cat, and we've got glass doors, and there was another cat on the other side of the glass door. She was meowing out. They were like meowing at each other through the glass. So I thought maybe the cat turns up every night and she comes upstairs to tell me.
Saying, "Hey, somebody's encroaching on her property.
Yeah.
You should go do something about it." Because I did like your dolphin pictures.
Oh, it was brilliant now, yeah.
Were the dogs really excited? Do they get like?
No, Roxy was when she saw a seal once, because she saw it and it wasn't far out, and she tried to run out to it and it just went under the water and disappeared. But the dolphins, no, they didn't see the dolphins because the tide was in, and so we were walking along the top, and there's a wall, the sea wall, so they couldn't really see them. We went down on the beach for a little while, but they still couldn't see them. They were mostly under the water, really.
That's probably best. You wouldn't want them running out in there.
We have there's various people walk along the prom every day, and some of the older people do it for their daily exercise and get out and see each other, and it's quite a social thing. And there's quite a few of them that have dog biscuits in the pockets as well. So Roxy makes out that she's a good dog and runs over and sits down in front of them until she gets one.
She knows what she's doing.
Part of the routine is really quite pleasant. So one of them had spotted the dolphins, so there was a few of us stood watching. We only get them in the summer.
Thanks.
And I haven't really seen them like that before. They're usually further out.
Maybe they chased fish in or something.
Yeah, you could see them doing circles to like gather the little fish up. I think that's what they were doing.
All right. I think we probably ought to finish up since people are gradually drifting off or having technical difficulties. So thanks everybody for coming. And if
Thanks
you're
for
meeting
having
and
us.
watching the Olympics, post in the PIK Olympic. What's the hashtag, Anne?
I think it's PIK Olympic 24.
And it doesn't have to be anything specific, just whatever you're working on.
Yeah, just whatever you're working on. I think you get extra points if it's red, white, and blue. But
All right. If you're watching it. I don't think I'm going to be watching it.
I'm not.
I'm not watching the boxing.
I just don't have any desire to watch it with all the negativity, and I support the athletes, but
Well, there's a couple of men in the women's boxing.
of course there are.
So, yeah, of all the things for it to be, it's the boxing.
Well,
I hate
Contact
it.
for them.
that's something that's going to have to get settled at some point. And it's the
Yeah, it'd be
female
good if it
athletes
got
who are
settled
going
in the ring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if everybody's equal, then they might as well just get rid of categories and have everybody compete against each other and see how that goes. All the men and women. Since
Yeah.
they
Trouble
wouldn't
is
like
they're
that
young,
either.
aren't they? They're not like. So if it was a woman like me who was a bit older, who'd been around the block a few times, and they put a bloke in front of me, I wouldn't be quiet and just get on with it. I don't think.
When
I don't think.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I couldn't stand on a podium next to somebody who just robbed me of a gold medal either.
Yeah, it's really
without pushing them off. I don't know. You'd be so tempted to do something about it. What were you going to say, Carol?
Oh, I was gonna say, so I like to box, but it's like a hobby. I don't actually like get into a ring and like get fisticuffs with anybody. But when I first learned how to box in Japan, I did like a practice match, right? And they put me with a Japanese girl who was about this much shorter than me, right? And I had a moment where I felt really bad because I was like, oh man, she's so much smaller than me, right? My dumb ass didn't take into account that we were in the same weight bracket, right? So she KO'd me in the first 10 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah. She was very fast and she was very polite. She's like, are you okay? I'm really sorry. I was like, no, it's fine.
I was watching a bit of women's volleyball yesterday, and it was the Japanese team versus the Polish team. And one of the Polish girls was 6'7", with all of the little polite Japanese girls. And the commentators were like, yeah, so the Japanese team doesn't quite have the reach that the Polish team does. Poland ended up winning. But
I was
Japanese
reading about
did a good try.
I was reading about a former sport that was in the 1800s and stopped in like the 1930s. It was a plunge. Basically, they would dive off from like 18 inches and just, you couldn't move your body. Once you landed, you had to stay in that position. And whoever floated farthest in a minute or before there, it's harder to stay still than it is to move. And I was like, wow, there were some really interesting Olympic sports back in the day. Like exhibitions and stuff, they'll have a plunge exhibition. But they would literally just pretty much just dive in the pool, and the heavier you were or the fatter you were, the better you did, because your body would stay more level, whereas if you're thinner, your legs would tend to go down and then you couldn't float as well. So basically you'd land, and however you landed, you would just have to stay in that position the whole time, and whoever floated the farthest, the wind affected you, that could affect your championship whether or not, if the wind was for you or against you. And I was like, that's just, where did they come up with these? Like,
People in the past
where did some of these sports come from? Yeah, it's bizarre. I wouldn't want to be doing that in the Seine River now, but considering they said it's not safe for the swimmers.
Yeah.
But
No.
and something about the Olympic pool wasn't deep enough or something they were complaining about. You'd think they'd have specifics
Yeah, wouldn't
that
you?
they had to do.
I think they get it right.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that they would be the same.
There are
Every-
standards.
Yeah, requirements, that's the word.
I don't remember this much, like, I don't want to say technical issues, but it feels like for some reason, like, France has like really pulled like the scrutiny on it, and now everybody's kind of like, oh, your pool's not deep enough and you didn't do this. And
Yeah, and
it's like
the river, but then it rained, and then all the crap ran into the river.
Yeah.
And
Plus they're having all the, like, the railroad was stopped, the high-speed railroad was stopped, and their communications thing, and all the power went out. And
yeah, and you also had the crowd rush the field of one of their soccer games. Security issues.
yeah, France dropping some balls, but
yeah,
it's not the ones they need to.
yeah. I just, it's interesting. I always like the Winter Olympics. Maybe that's because I lived so long in New Jersey where we had winter, and it wasn't far from Lake Placid when they had the Olympics there.
And sweaters.
Yeah, and sweaters. But I guess
Yeah.
Utah's getting in it again. Not the next winter, but 2032, I think. Either 2028 or 2032. Utah's getting the Winter Olympics again. So there'll be more sweaters, Anne. Did you ever get that pattern?
I did get the pattern. Someone sent it to me.
Finally, yay. I searched for that thing. Man, that is like the
I know.
holy grail of colorwork knit sweater patterns, because
I know.
it's nowhere to be found on the internet. I went through so many internet archives, and I even emailed Dale of Norway, but since it was in English, I don't know if they ever read my email.
No, Neil emailed them too. Oh, it was Neil. He emailed Dale of Norway, and then he did Google Translate, emailed Dale of Norway, and then he found the woman who wrote the pattern, and she didn't have a copy.
I know because someone on Ravelry, I was talking to someone on Ravelry looking for it, and they had tried to get a copy from her, and she didn't have it either.
Right.
And this was even years ago. She didn't have it anymore.
But here, 1 second. I will get it quick before we go.
Oh.
It's her ultimate colorwork sweater pattern
I'm here
from
for
the
it.
1988, I think, Tokyo Olympics.
Nagano.
Nagano, sorry. I knew it was Japan. Sorry.
Somewhere in that area.
It was the right part of the world. Okay.
All right. And you can't see it at all on the regular picture, but the chart.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
Mm. You're going to make it for yourself.
It looks so complicated.
Yeah, she's not making it for anybody else. That's for sure.
What do you mean? I'm making 47 of these. I will die trying.
She's gonna make them for her own team. And
My
come up with
team.
when knitting becomes an Olympic sport.
You've got your colours picked out.
No. Probably red and black. And
Will it be like similar to the original?
yeah.
I'm so excited that you finally got that because you're the only one I know who would really appreciate the whole process of knitting it and having it and everything.
Like all of the pain, all of the suffering, my dress.
Yeah, that's not going to be fun
The
color work.
pain,
But
sweat, and tears. Like walking in, like, hey, see this?
all right. Well, thank you guys for coming. We appreciate it.
Okey-doke.
I got to go. Talk to you guys later. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'm waving. I'm waving goodbye.